This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm joined today all the way from Emilia Romagna by Giovanni Segni and Luca Verzilloni, who are joining us from Prati Al Sole. How are you today, gentlemen?
All right, pretty good.
Good. It looks like you're in a deep, dark cellar there, Luca.
Oh, it's my kitchen, yes.
All right, okay. Now, for those people unfamiliar with your winery and actually your farm, could you explain a little about the philosophy behind what you are doing there?
Okay, I try in English. I never speak in English, so. I started like 10 years ago with the farm. So it's quite a young project, and we started with planting the vineyards and preparing the garden, because we produce vegetables, a lot of vegetables. And so since the beginning, we were focused on many things like vegetables, bees, the vineyard. We had to wait a couple of years to have the grapes, so we grow at the beginning, and we started since the beginning with the organic method and the biodynamic in the vineyard. So we use the preparation of the biodynamic, and yes, it's now is the fourth year we labeled our wines, and we are Giovanni is helping us in selling them.
Right. Now, when it comes to organics and biodynamics, you are certified organic. How dogmatically do you apply the principles of biodynamic viticulture?
Oh, we are right. We are not certified in biodynamic, but we how to say, we use the preparation like the 500 and the 501, and a couple of tisane. Giovanni, come si dice? I don't know.
It's like an herbal tea. It's an
herbal tea.
Sort of preparation for the wines.
And what we in biodynamics, I think the most important things in biodynamics is the capacity of seeing things in the vineyard, in the garden. So it's like to grow our sensibility.
From my readings of your website and taking in everything about your winemaking and the like, it appears that soil health is one of the things that is paramount when it comes to your property.
Yes, absolutely. It's true for for the garden and the vineyard too, because we try to increase the fertility of the soil rather than decrease, and we do it with a lot of green manure, and we are learning how to produce compost in our farm. So we want, like in the garden, we use the market garden method. So we use a very tight plant. How to say, the plants are very tight together.
Yes.
Like a bio-intensive, and yes, we are trying to do this.
Now
there's a lot of learning every year.
Sure. Now, you were speaking about the grapes. The grapes that you're utilizing there are quite specific to your region.
Yes, right. We produce Lambrusco, which is a sparkling red, and Lambrusco is made with many different kind of grapes, typical of the Lambrusco. And specifically in our wine, we use Lambrusco Maestri and the Lambrusco Barghi, like in 40% each one, and the rest 20% is divided by Graspa Rossa and Marzemino, a little bit of Termarina, which is a typical grape of our town.
Yes.
And the white wine is a Spergola, and also Spergola is an ancient variety. And we produce, yes, without sulfites and only natural yeast.
Do you have a little Malvasia as well for that white wine? Do you not?
Yes, it's variable, but it's like 10% of Malvasia.
Now, Lambrusco has come very much back into fashion over the last decade. What do you put that down to?
We're talking about North American markets, or specifically, or you're thinking about more in general?
I'm thinking more in general, because I've seen over the last decade wine bars coming back to Lambrusco and realizing the kind of traditional style of Lambrusco is actually very appealing to today's palate, as opposed to perhaps some of the Lambruscos that were made in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yes, but I think because quality has increased a lot.
Right.
Also in industrial production, because here in Reggio Emilia we have Riunite, which is the biggest producer of Lambrusco.
Yes.
And we export
huge cooperative. Yeah.
Yes, like millions of bottles in the USA and in North America. So, but it's very, very cheap and industrial. But also that quality has increased a lot. And in the last 10, 15 years, I think there are a lot of little winemaker. So the quality in those production is very high.
I think, sorry, I was thinking that, it's, I've seen it more as something that is, because, I do tastings and fairs all over the world. I was in Finland for 2 weeks. I'm going to Sweden next month. I'm going to Japan. I find this to be true mostly of the natural wine world. I don't usually go to places that don't have natural wine, but I look from outside because I wouldn't want to drink it. But I try to keep an eye also on the conventional market for educational purposes. And I've seen this happen a lot more in the natural wine world. In most markets, you see in Japan, you see in Sweden, US, Canada, I'm sure.
Now, since we use the N word, natural there, I would be curious as to both of your definition of what makes a natural wine, because there are many answers across the globe for what a natural wine is.
Vai prima tu, poi Luca, Luca, you go first.
I try. For me, natural wine is our wine. So it's like we focused a lot on the grapes, and I want to have the perfect grape, and then I just cross the fingers, because our production is very, very, very simple. We just crush the grape, and we do a little of temperature control, and then just wait until February or March to bottle the wine, and that's all, for real. So my definition is this one.
Well, is that not more in keeping with the way that Lambrusco was made traditionally, historically?
Yes, right. Yeah, I always say, joking with the clients, it's like my grandfather's wine, but done better.
Right. Okay.
Because those wines were not so good.
It's funny. The definition issue is, I mean, you can talk days about it. It actually was one of the topics of, held a natural wine seminar in Stockholm, all-day seminar, like 1 year ago. Doing another one in Denmark in a few months. And it's also a chapter of a book that I'm writing. And you see it a lot in, I mean, okay, during the second lockdown, when what is the app's name? God, oh, when Clubhouse became popular, and we used to have a weekly room, and that's how I met Kari, actually.
Oh,
that's how we met.
Yes.
Then we got, it was called the Natural Wine Pit.
So Kari, we're talking about Kari, who is your importer into Ontario, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's how I met her. We haven't yet met in person for obvious reasons. So that was the topic, the fact that many people will argue that there are many definitions. My view is actually quite the opposite. And I have a different view from Luca because I handle all export matters for a number of natural wine. So basically, if you talk to most producers all over the world, the main guidelines are pretty much all shared. You look at the associations. You will have the big fairs in Italy next week. You have Vinnatur, Viniveri, Vita inside Vinitaly. Raw wine is going on right now in the US. The main parameters are all the same. I mean, if you want to get really technical, just forget the philosophical aspect of it, which is very interesting. Want to get technical, what you can and cannot do in the vineyard and in the cellar. I would say that probably the Vinnatur Charter is something that almost everyone would agree on. And there's small differences. For example, raw, strangely enough, raw has really high limits for sulfites. It's like 80 something, 100. That's super high. And Viniveri doesn't allow any temperature control, while Vinnatur allows really, really, really mild temperature control. Let's say if your cellar is in Sicily in August, you got to do something, choice, right? But I would say the main guidelines are organic or biodynamic agriculture, certified or not. Only spontaneous fermentations, no fining, no filtration. Filtration is allowed in a very rough form sometimes. No aggressive physical techniques, no additives. The only thing you can use is a little bit of added sulfites, only a bottling. I made it really short, but I would think that, I would love to have your opinion on it. I would think that most producers and professionals would agree that, of course, there are a little bit of differences, but these are, the main parameters.
Now, you also use no sulfites whatsoever?
Yes, no sulfites.
Not even not even a little at bottling?
No, for now, no. We have to check this year, but we have to check every year because of the quality of the grapes. But yes, until now we didn't use any sulfites.
Superb. Now,
sorry guys if I walk a bit, because I've got things cooking, and I wouldn't want it to explode.
What are you cooking? I have to ask.
Oh, I've got actually winemaker friends over for dinner from Veneto.
Oh, right. Okay.
Wow. Sono I ragazzi di Old Boy che vengono stasera. So I love long cooking. I'm actually cooking a Roman dish with the pollo coi peperoni, which is a free-range chicken with bell peppers.
Nice.
And then a legume and black and purple cabbage soup. And and the average, and then we'll have 2, 3, 4 bottles per head. That's the usual average.
That sounds about right. I haven't had my lunch yet, so I'm getting quite hungry getting all of these details from you. Now, I have to ask, what size is your production right now? Because you don't have, the farm is reasonably sizable, but how much of that is under vine?
Like 2 hectares.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your annual production when it comes to cases or bottles?
Oh, I don't know yet. We are reaching it.
L'anno scorso.
Yes, last production was about 7,500
bottles.
Yes.
Oh wow, okay, all right. So very artisanal for sure. And
yes.
Where are your best markets for your Lambruscos?
Oh, actually in the US and Northern Europe.
Right.
Yeah, we're trying to crack Japan. Should be able to do it soon, but I would say definitely US, Denmark. We will probably start. We already got Norway confirmed, and we will probably start with Sweden very soon. So I mean, it's definitely export markets a lot more than Italy, because Luca, correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, the wines in Italy, you can only buy it at the winery, and maybe a couple of wine shops. That because I don't handle Italian matters. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And so there's little domestic market in restaurants and the like.
It's not that there is. I mean, actually, maybe Luca, I can answer part of this question. From my experience, when you start to have foreign markets that get established and you keep promoting the wines, you do things like we're doing right now, which I hope will be educational for your readers. The Italian market doesn't really become that prominent unless you have a nationwide distributor, because you have to. I mean, people don't have the time to handle single restaurants and people that don't pay, because that always happens in Italy, and you have to run after this restaurant, that restaurant, and this wine shop, and that wine shop. That
happens in Canada also. It's not just this.
Yeah, it's just not doable, and it's not fun.
Right. So, right. Well, it's not sustainable unless you have a big distributor, right? Because when it's just a small operation like the one you have, that makes sense. So what do you see as the future for your operation in the coming decade? What are your hopes and dreams for the next 10 years?
Oh, I hope to go to holiday.
Okay.
Sooner or later. I'm joking. Yes, I want the things work good, because I think we have everything since the beginning, but making it all work together is very complicated. And so yes, I want to reach like a balance, and we'll see. Now it's not an easy moment, but
I understand.
It's difficult, but we are also lucky because we have all these things. So if one thing go bad, you can go better with the other thing. So
I understand. So I'm imagining that the wine that you have in the Ontario market, something that we shall revisit and taste together in the coming weeks. From my understanding, I think that will go down very well in Ontario, because it seems very suited to the current zeitgeist Ontario palate in the wine bars and the like. So I'm looking forward to tasting that with you in the future. But thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate your time coming all the way from Emilia Romagna, a place I have been to on a number of occasions and enjoyed a great deal. Hopefully, we will see you over in Ontario at some point soon.
Oh, would be great.
That'd be great.
That would be marvelous. Thank you very much for your time today, and take care.
Thanks so much, Amy.
Bye for now.
Bye. Ciao. Ciao, ragazzi.